was really expecting them to be like orphans, I guess, and I didn't see that. You just look around as they were singing, their faces shone.
They smile, they laugh, they're full of music, they're full of play, they're full of life.
They have so little and yet their generosity is so big.
We were taken down to the homes, which were like at the bottom of one of the many hills.
You know, I was just sort of busy looking around at the area and you could see that it was a poorer part of Azle.
The services, the electricity and the water are all exposed, and as a Sparky, when I saw the some of the high voltage electricity wires that are just, you know, you could physically touch them if you which, you know, wouldn't end up well, but it was unbelievable just seeing that, and these kids grow up in these areas.
Deborah's was the first one, and I don't think anybody knew what a home visit would really entail, and that was the first home visit, I think, was very significant for every person because we all cried. We all felt the love from that family, particularly the grandfather, towards Deborah and what she's been able to do for the family. So
everybody sort of went in and we're all piling in. It was quite a small little home, so we're all sort of sitting in there. None of us really knew what was going to happen next. We were all just sort of sitting there, and Jonathan's grandfather just sort of was obviously was feeling very emotional. Even as we got in there, I could see that. And then so I'm suddenly thinking, oh my gosh, I am actually here. This is my son, and I'm meeting his entire family. So then it sort of impacted. I had taken over a little gift for Jonathan, as most people did for their sponsor children, and that was exciting because he was so excited. So it was nice to see his face light up. Through the interpreter, you know, do you have any questions on both sides? So I'd ask Jonathan a few things about his life and school life, and then they asked the grandfather if he wanted to know anything. And he did ask a few questions about myself, my family, etc. back home, and then he asked Andrew if he could pray for me. Now, the man asks, can he pray for me? And that was the most humbling experience of my life.
Like with your own children, you know, you have an emotional bond and a love for them. And it's the same with these children. They're no different at all. And, you know, when the little girl hugged me before we left and said, when will you be back? And how do you answer that? How do you answer that? I said, as soon as I can. There was no other way I could say anything, you know, that maybe I won't be back. Not that's not what I want, but that's life. And it just broke my heart. Like when we went on the bus trip out in the middle of the jungle to wherever it was. and they just curled up beside me on the bus seat and snuggled in and went off to sleep. Well, you know, your own children do that. And to have these children, I knew then that my family had extended, that I didn't just have my own children, there were these others that are part of my life as well.
I have this greater passion to pray for them. They just so need our prayers just as much as they're praying for us. That's what blew me away as well. They're over there praying for us, but to really pray for them, and not just once a week on a Sunday or at life group, but to really pray every day, to pray for them, to pray for the development leaders, to pray for their families. They're doing it tough, and also to really be there to form that relationship with them so that they have got this long-lasting relationship that will go on and on forever.
$44 a month is nothing. It's like $11 a week.
You just realise that that small amount that you give does so much more than feed them.
You can just see how it's affecting the wider family and then the wider community.
If you're not sponsoring a child, I would say sponsor one. I want to sponsor another one. I probably can't afford it, but I'm going to cut out things so I can afford to sponsor another child, because they deserve a chance at a better life, not just with food and everything, but emotionally and spiritually, and they could change the world. You don't know that. Like, yeah. So I'd really encourage child sponsorship. It's really good.